guys that are really competing for it. You know, Jatavius Harris is a guy that's already stood out that will be a really good special teams player for us. He's fast and he's tough and he's got great size. Quinn Head has done a really nice job on our special teams, and he's competing. LaMarquez Thomas showed last year that he can be a great player for us on that. So it's been good because their competition and has been changing the depth according to how hard they go and how fast they play. And then I think our specialists are doing a good job. Black Creeky has been very good, very consistent. And then, you know, there's still a little bit of competition between Mason King and Austin Johnson. And, you know, Austin needs to put pressure on him and compete for the spot.
Coach, a couple of years ago, before any of us knew who Lamar was, and I remember at this press conference, you didn't say a lot, but you had this kind of gleam in your eye that you knew what we were going to find out. And my question is, are there any newcomers that have grabbed your attention, if not to that level, that you say, oh, well, maybe we have something that we didn't realize we were going to have?
Well, when you first said a couple of years ago, I was thinking, boy, I hope I can remember that far back. But, you know, I really, you know, even when we went downstairs and took the team picture, it's great to see the sophomore group of guys and the freshman group of guys. I think there's a lot of talent out there. Tutu Atwell has been consistent, making plays every single day in practice. His ability to transfer from a quarterback to a receiver is something that's, you know, kind of been amazing to me. I didn't think he would be able to do it that quickly. He's a real student of the game. He loves the game of football, and he's really fast. I mean, he's super fast. And has made an impact in every single practice and scrimmage as far as making big plays for us. So I think he would have, you know, a guy to be a great chance like that. Chandler Jones has had a really good first week. You know, he's made some really great interceptions. He's super fast and he can play the ball in the air. So he's another guy that's really jumped out at me. And he was injured a lot of spring. You know, he missed a couple weeks of spring with a hamstring. So it's good to see him out there and going really hard. You know, other than that, you know, I think Puma's going to have a great year, and I'm excited for him.
Real quick, you mentioned in the linebackers there's a freshman up on the outside
Yasir, yeah, Yasir is really, really fast, and he's still figuring things out. But when he knows where he's going, or when he's blitzing and pressuring, you see the different speed that he has. You know, he's a guy that in track this past spring ran 10.6 in the 100 meters, and now he's over 220 pounds, and he can flat go. You know, it's a different speed that we've had. And he's another guy that on those special teams that has really stood out.
The defense, it seems like the consensus is it will be more aggressive this year. I guess some people say that means high risk, high reward. When you look at the way the defense is played in camp, how do you try to minimize, as you try to be more aggressive, how do you also try to minimize giving up big plays?
Yeah, you know, the first thing you need to do on defense is stop the run. So you'd love to be able to be successful stopping the run with, you know, your base front and your base coverages and great technique and guys flying to the football. And we've been working hard at that, and we've been a lot better at it. There's no question about that. The other ways that you stop the run is you have what are blitzes or pressures that are designed for to stop the run, and you know, not necessarily to get after the quarterback, but to stop the run first, and then transition if it is a pass into pressuring the quarterback. And then you got to be able to play tight coverage. So and then it has to work together. And you know, I've always felt like as an offensive coach, the hardest thing to go against is a defense that could be 1/3 base, 1/3 man coverage, and 1/3 pressure, because it keeps you off balance and keeps you, you know, where you have to be able to attack different looks all the time. So we've got a ways to go to be able to do that.
With more pressure on stopping the run on the quarterback, do you find your defensive backs out in one-on-one coverage?
They're always out on an island. That's that's what their you know job is. Corners are out there by themselves all the time, and You know, you gotta be able to get to the quarterback with 4-man pressure, you gotta be able to get the quarterback with 5, just bringing one guy. And then you also got the opportunity to bring 6 or 7, so you know, the ability to mix it up and change it up is what's important.
You've seen a week out of Trayshawn Smith, how's he looking?
Trayshawn's done a really nice job. You know, he's been limited a little bit. He hasn't been in everything, but that's by design with our trainers and doctors, and they're bringing him back. But I've been really happy, and I feel like he's way ahead of what I thought he would be. So we just got to make sure that he doesn't have any setbacks. And you know, like I said, they've been bringing him along, and some days he does individual and 7-on-7. Some days he gets in some teamwork, but it's just a matter of getting it back. It's hard, you know, because of the time he had the injury. He's going through the pains now and the swelling and the things that you would like to have had happen in the summertime, but he wasn't at that point yet. So, you know, it's like they went through it last year in August and September, so that's different.
Bobby, how have you worked with Juwan in terms of just telling him, you know, not to try to do too much too soon, and maybe letting him do what he does best?
Never used the terms not to try to do too much. You know, I think he needs to go out and play the position and run the show and understand exactly what we're striving for as an offensive staff, and go out there and understand what the defenses are and handle the running game. You know, be 100% in the running game, with whether I get out of a bad play into a good play, and technique. You know, one of the most important things for a quarterback is to get the ball to the running back in the right position. And then the run game has a chance to be really good, so we work hard on that. Obviously, one of the things you always do for a quarterback is you have to take care of the ball. You know, you have to take care of the football and distribute it and get it to your good players. So we're working hard on that. But, you know, we judge him every play by decision making and execution. So every play he has a decision make, whether it's stay with the play that's called, you know, check the play, or read the strong safety. He's got a decision to make on every single play. And then you got to be able to execute it and be accurate with the throw, or get to the proper mesh point, carry out your fake. So we're just striving for him to do those things every play and be consistent.
How instinctual has he become in that process?
He's good. He's been here for a couple of years now. It's I think he's ready. You know, obviously we got a great challenge for him early, and he's going to have to be able to handle his emotions and concentrate and, you know, just play football the way it is at practice. So that'll be the great challenge, is just, you know, relax and play the game the way you can.
Bobby, how do you go about reinforcing the idea that there does not have to be a fall off after Lamar? You have the pieces in place to continue to be successful.
Yeah, we just have to prove it. You know, that's something that as a team we feel like we're going to be a good football team. Obviously, you know, there's people out there that don't. But you have, you know, in athletics, you have to go out and prove it on the field. Go out and prove it in the games that you play. You know, put a good product out there, play hard, win games, and put on a good performance. So it's just a matter of going out there and proving it.
Have you been able to watch any of the Alabama behind-the-scenes show since you're playing the first game? And if so, can you learn anything from it?
I haven't watched it yet, but we are videoing it, obviously. And there's been guys that have previewed it and watched some of it, but we just haven't had the time yet to sit down and watch any of it. But you try to see if, you know, there's one thing they can give us on that or not. You know, I don't really know.
How confident with the line, with the guys you have, or are you getting close, do you think, you know, having a 5 up front at this point? And then if you could, we haven't had a chance to ask you, but you added a new one with Wyatt late. Can you just kind of talk about how that happened and what he'll help down the road?
Yeah, you know, I feel really good about Mackay and Lucas and the fact that they played almost every play together last year. Cole Bentley is a guy that's got tremendous ability. He's still playing both guard and center, so we're trying to see what the best combination is there. On the other side, Kenny Thomas has great experience and understands the game and knows what he needs to do. He has improved as far as his strength and flexibility, so that'll help him be a player. Linwood Foy has shown that he can play. You know, I looked back on it last year and watched all the video from him last year and thought, man, we should have had him in there more, because he did a really good job when he was in the game. So, and then we got Caleb Chandler that has shown great improvement and doing a really nice job for us, and he's got position flexibility so he can move around. He's very, very athletic. He's probably as good an athlete as any of them out there. You got to get used to the footwork and doing things right. And then it was great to get him here on the transfer, and we recruited him hard when he was a junior. He came over and spent a lot of time here with Coach Summers and our program, and he's had a couple basketball games with us. And sometimes guys pick a place and then they get there and it's not for them. So we're just fortunate we had the ability to get him here.
With Puma and Mackay and Dorian, you seem to have a lot of sophomores in key positions. What's been your experience in sophomores kind of transitioning into being starters and being a bigger key?
Yeah, like I said, watching the guys when we lined up, they did it by year.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the seniors went first to line up, and there wasn't many of them. The junior class looked good when they walked out, but then I really liked what I saw from the sophomores and freshmen. So, we are young. There's no question about that, but a little bit different in the Mackay and Puma, and the fact that Puma redshirted. He's been here and understands how we operate and what our culture is, and now he needs to lead it that way. Mackay came right in as a freshman, and we threw him out there, and he started every game except for when he got injured. He's really a different player. He's 6'8", 350 pounds, and he had 23% body fat. He's got great flexibility. I don't think he knows exactly how much talent he has. We're trying to get him to finish plays and go harder and, really dominate. And I think he's a player that you have that really has the ability to dominate. Who was the other one? Dorian?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
sophomores in general.
Dorian's really looked really good this first week. I kind of felt like in spring that he was worrying too much about making calls and trying to, do those things out on the field instead of just playing. He was trying to tell everybody else what to do. Now that he had a summer in the defense to study it, go back through and watch all the spring video, now he's still has to make the calls. I mean, that's his job. But he's getting lined up and playing football too, where, in the spring there were times he wasn't even properly aligned. So you got to call the defense, then do your job, and I've liked what I've seen the first week of him doing his job.
Bobby, what's the determining factor for a quarterback in terms of how much freedom you give him at the line of scrimmage?
I've always laughed on that one because I really think that he has the freedom to do exactly what we tell him to do. That's what I believe.
Bobby, as you watch the new building go up, what are kind of the benefits day to day? I saw the thing the other day with the cold pool. Are you finding that it's maybe even better than you thought? Or
Yeah, it's an amazing facility. The ability to teach in the meeting rooms that we have, in the team meeting room. We now have a meeting room for the entire defense, which is the old team meeting room. So our ability to teach and have the space and things that you need to do is awesome. The weight room's been great. What we do some days in camp is the offense meets and the defense lifts, and the defense meets and the offense lifts after an hour. And to be able to get all those in because of the space and everything is something that's hugely different than it was before. The training room is amazing. They come in now. We used to bring the horse troughs out, and they would come in and ice down after practice in the horse troughs, and I would just shake my head all the time. Now we got those great plunge pools, and they go right into the locker room. So the setup and design is very good. And then we also have another room of pools that are for rehab, an underground treadmill, and pools that we can make hot or cold, depending on when we use them. So It's been an amazing facility. We really haven't got into the players' lounge a whole lot yet, which is in the